In this video, I'm going to show you how to register your business in Canada. Now, if you're new to this channel, I've actually been running my business for almost a decade. It started as a side hustle that I would do on nights and weekends on top of my full-time job. And then I quit that full-time job in 2017 to run this business full-time. And then in 2021, that's when I switched from being a sole proprietor to a corporation. And that's actually where I want to start, is choosing the right business structure for you. So in Canada, you can be either a sole proprietor, a partnership, or a corporation. And to learn more about the difference between being a sole proprietor or a corporation, definitely check out this video I do that compares the two. I think it will answer a lot of the questions that you may have. But let's start with breaking down the simplest business structure, which is a sole proprietorship. So you may not know this, but you can start a sole proprietor business right now without doing anything extra or fancy if you plan on using your personal legal name as your business name. So if your legal name is Jane Smith and you want to start your own graphic design business under your name, Jane Smith, you can do so right now. You don't have to register anything. You are good to start finding clients and getting paid. Now, this is actually what I did when I first started my side hustle. I ran my business under my legal name, which is actually Jessica Bowman. But my brand name has actually always been Jessica Morehouse. And at a certain point, when it's starting to earn more money and get more kind of recognition for my business, I want to be able to start invoicing clients with the name Jessica Morehouse and accept checks with that name as well. This meant that I then had to register my business under the trade name Jessica Morehouse. But another example, if your name is Jane Smith and maybe you want your business name to actually go under the name Smith Graphic Designs. Well, in order for you to actually do that, you do need to register that trade name with your province's business registry first. But before registering your business, you actually have to do one really important thing. You have to make sure that no one else is using that business name already. Now, to find out if the name that you chose is actually free to use, I definitely recommend checking out this page on the government's website about choosing a business name. Now, once you've secured your trade name and no one else is using it, it is free to use, then you have to move on to the step of actually registering that name with your province. And there's a few different ways that you can go about doing it. Now, the first way to do it is to go directly through your province's web registration portal, or you can go old school, and this is actually what I did when I registered my side hustle all those years ago. You can go to a physical registration office as well. Now, on this page of the government's website, it actually directs you to each province's website for how to do this. Now, in general, it costs about $60 to $80 to register your business trade name, but it obviously depends on each province. Now, another way to do this, and personally, I believe a much easier way to do this, is to go through a platform called Owner. Not only is the process much smoother, in my opinion, but they also include free business name searches. And honestly, when you're comparing prices, it's about the same as going directly through your province. Now, if you want to start a partnership, the process is actually almost identical to a sole proprietorship. Now, I also have experience with a partnership because I did have a partnership with a friend a number of years ago. We did run a business. And the first thing that you're actually going to want to decide with your business partner is this going to be a general partnership in which everything is split 50-50, or is this going to be a limited partnership in which there is going to be an uneven split between all the partners? And also, in case that wasn't clear, you can have more than one partner. You can have multiple partners in your business. So for our business, we did a general partnership. So we split everything 50-50, and all we had to do was register our trade name with our province of Ontario, which is where our business was based out of. And then we were good to start making money, which unfortunately we did not. The business failed miserably, but I'm going to leave that for a future video. Now, although sole proprietorships and partnerships can be great and they are super simple to set up, the downsides are that they don't provide any real liability protection, and all business income has to be taxed at your personal marginal tax rate, of course, not including any business expenses that you can use as tax deductions. For more info about tax write-offs for small businesses and how your business income is taxed in Canada, make sure to check out this video. Now, if this doesn't make sense for the type of business that you want to run, honestly, a corporation may be a better fit for you. You see, when you set up a corporation, your business then becomes its own legal entity. And why this can be great is you do get some liability protection. So if your business gets sued, it's your corporation that gets sued, not you personally. Moreover, your business income is taxed at your federal and provincial corporate tax rates, not your personal marginal tax rate. Not only that, you have just a lot more flexibility with a corporation. So you can choose to keep some of your business income in your corporation. There is no time limit on when you have to pay yourself out. But when you do choose to pay yourself some money from your corporation, you have the options of doing salary, bonuses, or dividends, or a combination of all three. With that said, when you do pay that money out to yourself, you will be taxed at your personal marginal tax rate. And of course, there are some dividend tax credits for when you pay yourself dividends, but again, you're going to be paying tax at your personal marginal tax rate in one way or another. Now, to register a corporation, it is obviously a little bit more complex than registering a sole prop or a partnership. You, of course, can register your corporation on your own DIY style, and it obviously is much cheaper doing it on your own. However, word of warning, I see too many people jump the gun, register their corporation, and realize after the fact they made a mistake, or they really should have sought some advice from their accountant or a lawyer. So that's actually how I registered my corporation. First, I consulted with my accountant to get some advice, and then she forwarded me on to a lawyer to actually help me incorporate my business. Now, I'm really glad that I went this route, even though it was a little bit more costly, because number one, I got some advice when we were going through all of the paperwork, and I also felt very confident that everything was going to be set up properly. But not only did my lawyer handle, incorporating my business and also doing the business name search for me, she also handled my S85 rollover, which is really just rolling over any current business assets that you have into the ownership of your corporation. So for example, I owned a trademark and I wanted it to be rolled over from my sole proprietorship business into my corporation. Now, if you're curious, altogether, it cost me about $2,600. So I know if you're starting your business from scratch, that may be too much. There is actually a cheaper and still easier option than doing it DIY through the CRA's website. Again, you can use the platform called Owner. It'll cost you between $500 to $700, depending on whether you want to incorporate your business federally or provincially. And if you didn't know that you had to make a choice between federal and provincial, it's actually very simple. Basically, if you incorporate federally, that means that you can conduct your business throughout any of the provinces and territories in Canada. But if you incorporate provincially, that means you can only conduct your business within your province. Now, when you do incorporate provincially, you can still serve clients outside of your province. It just means that you're conducting business only in that province. So for example, if you incorporated your business in the province of Ontario and you set up an office there, let's say after a few years you want to expand your business and you want to open up an office in British Columbia. That means that you then have to incorporate your business in the province of British Columbia as well. So one easy workaround if you feel like you will expand, or for me, I may not always live in the province of Ontario. What if one day I want to move to Nova Scotia? It's just easier to incorporate federally so you don't have to go through all that paperwork down the road. And that is how you register your business in Canada, no matter what business structure that you are using. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and please like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video.